out early or late, Coach, right?
Made it here, we're good. Made it here, we're good. But, closed the chapter last night on that ball game. Again, you know, North Carolina's a good football team. You go back and watch it. Good team. You know, we played just average football. You know, there's a lot of positives to take from the game. I think we were better than the week before. Offensively, those first two drives we had down the field were big time. You know, we just got to get consistent. You're talking about a makeshift offensive line that, you know, I look at, you know, just where we were, you know, versus, you know, with a better football team, I think, than the week before, and our guys up front played better. You know, they took coaching last week. Again, it's not going to be a, you know, snap your fingers and get perfect, you know, one day. But with the young guys we had inside, and Terrence Moore, you know, holding it, snapping the ball every play, really happy with that inside part of our defense or our offensive line. Terrence Moore, Jason Collier, and Blake Zabova played, you know, really good, especially being first time together a bunch, and Terrence making all the calls up front for the offensive line. So that was a, you know, real positive to see. Again, like I said, those two drives. You know, the quarterback gets hurt. You got to look at our second team quarterback and Christian right now, and again, after further review, again, you know, you look at the quarterback play. You know, if you get the 3 turnovers there, it's not all on him. You know, and again, I won't get into details, but you know, if you go back and watch the tape, I mean, that one ball he throws, interception in the end zone. You know, again, as fast as Kenny ran that kickoff return, he wasn't running that route. He slowed down, didn't see the ball, didn't think he was going to get it, and you know, that DB is right with him. And if Kenny, with his speed, bursts up and gets that, it's a touchdown for us instead of a touchdown for them. So that's the, you know, the fine line that it is. And go back and watch that. Just go back and watch that one play and be like, "Ooh, coach is right." You know, you don't see that on the field, so you got to go back and look, and you go, you know. And again, Christian getting hit in the mouth immediately, he did a heck of a job getting it off. And again, the protection on that play was not good at all. But I'm not sure if the protection was really good. It would have hit it anyway if we slow down and go around. So little things like that. Again, freshmen are going to do that. Seniors are going to do that sometimes. But again, a lot of good stuff there. Then defensively, you know, we held more yards than anybody has this year. South Carolina was the next best, but 63 yards away from where we were. There was a lot of good stuff. We stopped the run. And really, when you look at the passing yards, their total offense didn't equal what they passed against us a year ago. And again, that quarterback, you go back and look at it, like, he's a really good football player. And you know, we brought some of our favorite pressures, you know, that we could have got home, but he is so fast with getting the ball out of his hand. It's like, and there's some quarterbacks that are like really slow getting out of their hand, and they freeze, they don't know what to do. Like, this dude don't freeze. This guy can make a shot, and he's gonna make a heck of an NFL quarterback just because he can see it. He must have just, you know, I don't know what his eyes are like or how much tape that guy watches, but he's pretty good there. As far as injuries, I know, you know, Jerry's gonna ask me. I'll figure out to start off. You know, I only talk about injuries when it's guys that are out for the season. So unfortunately, we got one guy that's out for the year. Disappointing. You know, obviously disappointing for the football team, but you know, more importantly, disappointing for him. But Captain Matt Gonsalves will be out for the year, you know, just, you know, I'm sad for him, sad for his family. You know, they'll be at every game anyway because they're so, you know, blue and gold and let's go Pitt and all that. It's just like, you know, it's nothing you expect. I mean, he's such in good shape and, you know, such a, you know, tough dude and captain again. You know, it's a hit to our offense. So put that out there, and again, that's really the only one that we have to talk about. At least I'm going to talk about. As far as Virginia Tech, you know, Coach Pry going into his second year down there, still trying to get things going. And again, you know, to me, they put up more yards last year against us than North Carolina did last weekend. So just so we got to get a feel for what you're dealing with, they put up over 400 yards against us. So you're talking about a very capable football team, and we got to go play down in that atmosphere. So you know, I think offensively we're facing the same kind of offense you do almost every week. You know, these spreads with the, you know, it's all the same formations and plays, and so there's a lot of carryover for our defense. I'm sure we'll see different tweaks that we're going to see, and you know, and then defensively again, it's another 4 down front. You know, structure is a little bit different in the back end, but again, at least it's another for our offensive line just to go out there and play against another 4 down. Again, they've got a little bit of odd stuff as well, just like everybody in the country does, but they major, you know, in a 4 down, so at least gives our, you know, our young offensive line a little chance there, at least to have a, you know, a little bit of familiarity. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
My ears his work right, but I think I heard you say 5 minutes ago, Christian right now. Does that mean Christian is starting Saturday?
Don't worry about my words. I have no idea. So, but, I don't know why I said right now, but it's probably yours. Maybe I didn't say
Well,
it.
I'm saying my ears could be
I
right.
don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Will Christian and Phil receive first team reps this week in practice?
I don't know.
I think Christian did a good job coming in the second half and the first half as he did.
Did he do a good job?
Yeah.
I think it was good. I mean, like I said, it's guys around you. Again, we got 3 turnovers, and anytime you see that, you're going to say no, right? I mean, we had 2 the week before, and it's not good. So whatever the reason is, we got to get it fixed. But again, it's Phil was our starting quarterback. Let's start there, we'll see where we are.
You mentioned that the kind of makeshift offensive line. How much time did they have in practice to get ready as a unit to play together?
Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday. Jake Cradle played he practiced last Tuesday until we noticed it was an issue at the end of practice when he's like, I don't feel good. And I think it was play 53, and it's like they want to be there for the team guy, and our guys want to go play. And sometimes we got to be smart too.
What did you see from Phil during practice last week that allowed him to come out and have the start to the game that he had?
Man, I thought it was my pass rush skills. You guys talked on Thursday. I think it might have been my pass rush skills at the quarterback. I didn't see anything different. Okay, I didn't see anything different. He does the same thing. He acts the same way. Did we do a couple different drills like that pass rush, bringing some DBs over? Get that mentally. We'll have you guys all go run at him this week. If that helped, maybe it'll be even better if you guys chase after him on the field. But I don't think that had anything to do with it. He carries himself and he prepares the same way every week. It's just getting in a rhythm of playing and knowing your guys and feel comfortable. I don't know. Again, it's everybody around him, but the protection's gotten a little bit better. Let's start there, right? Give up 5 sacks, and he's got hit me. Cincinnati got hit, 21 times or something like that. 25 out of 44 pass protection were not good. And then you go to West Virginia, it was a little bit better. And make some bad decisions. And then last week, the protection's better. So, I think when guys around you play really good, or play good, it makes you play good. If guys around you don't play good, it trickles right back to that poor guy standing behind the center.
At the first 2 drives that you guys scored on, do you think you guys can replicate, build upon to be more of a consistent part of your offense?
Yeah, I think we can. I think that's kind of what you try to do. You look at where we were, drive down the field against West Virginia, and we get stuck. All of a sudden, now this week, that just tells you, the attitude of our football team. They're trying to get better. They're sitting in here last night. We got a great attitude. Our guys are, they're ready to move on. And it's the same thing. They see those 2 drives and go, let's do that all the time. And why can't we be more consistent? And again, it's attention to detail on, just you start to fade away and you start to, try to make a play and just got to be more detailed. Again, it's some young guys making mistakes, and we got to get it fixed up, and we will.
When you guys are going about fixing those details, and you have some banged up players in some key spots, quarterback, running back, offensive line, how much of an extra challenge is that to kind of deal with those injuries and find your chemistry?
Yeah. It's an extra challenge. I'll go back to, and as soon as you fix that, something else breaks. Okay, that's what you do. Like our punt team was so good, and you feel good, and all of a sudden, that breakdown right there, that bothered me bad. It's like, God, we should have worked more coverage. Our coverage was crappy. Okay, so now what's the focus this week? You're worried about this, worried about that. We got to get that coverage. We got to, spread the field. We did just a bad job with our gunners. They did some stuff that we hadn't seen. They doubled the gunners up, which they've never done. Their whole punt block team was totally different than what it was going into the game, and we didn't do a good job adjusting. Our guys didn't do a good job of staying in the field, and they got it. So that won't happen again. We'll fix that this week. But as soon as you fix something, where do you spend your time? You got to spread it out. And you got a 20-hour rule. So you got 20 hours a week that you can work with them, and obviously you work. You're on the field no more than 6 hours a day. Then they go to class. They're not in the league where they sit in the meeting room and have their own desk.
Pat, how did Ryan Baer kind of grade out? What are some of the things that he's working on?
I don't know what his grade was, but you know, I think, and I may be wrong here, guys, I think even in the play where, you know, Christian gets whacked on the one play, that we've got outside help. And it's a habit to kick slide, you know, but he kicked side for more width, got beat inside too quickly. And again, that's a young guy's mistake. It's like that motor memory of always kicking, sliding, like you're blocking, like you don't have help all the time. But when you have help there, I mean, that should never happen. We gave those tackles some extra help at times during the day, and we didn't take advantage of it. There was a couple times we did. But, you know, it's just just stuff, you know, we got to do again and again and again and rep, and there's just not enough time to get maybe the motor memory that you wanted, whatever position that is. So, I mean, I think he played solid in the run game. We had some great, you know, blocking up front, you know, in the run game, but we got to get better at pass protection as well.
Is he a guy from game 1 to 2 that you would expect a big jump? Because I know he's been knocking at the door.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he made a good jump from playing, you know, the time he did against West Virginia down there. That was a good start. I'm glad he didn't just get his fresh start, having to come in relief, because we got a chance to at least practice him for 3 days. But I think, you know, Ryan Baer's only going to get better, and Branson Taylor, same thing.
If Phil can't go on Saturday, is Christian definitely the guy, or would there be any consideration given to Nate Yarnell?
I would say right now Christian would be the guy if that's the case, and you know, Nate will be ready to roll. There's a lot of faith in Nate Yarnell. I can tell you that. You know, I love Nate Yarnell. He's a competitor. He's a leader, but you kind of you got to kind of give Christian his chance to go go get it done. Period. And I got a lot of faith in him as well. So it's like, I got faith in everybody in this room, guys. I mean, there's it's the next man up mentality. Period. Whether it's the O-line or quarterback. I mean, and you can't lose faith. You know, you really can't.
As a defensive coach, how much of a disadvantage is it when you don't know who the other team is starting at quarterback?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, when you watch what we do, I mean, you know, all three of our quarterbacks are capable of zone read keeps and doing all that stuff we're going to do as far as running the ball. You know, it'd be different if there were, you know, 3 different animals. Okay, and you can say the same thing about Virginia Tech. Is the Drones kid going to play, or is the Wells kid going to play quarterback? I mean, they've kind of gone back and forth a little bit as well. And you know, Drones started the other day. It looked like Wells was ready to go if he wanted to, or if they wanted him to go, as far as pregame goes. So, you know, I don't think it's a big advantage. I know you always ask me that question every week, you know, as a defensive guy.
Once a year.
Once a year. But I get that, you know, I think you got to play quarterback, and sometimes that, you know, you just don't know.
If that's the case, then why are coaches so secretive? When everything, not just injuries.
It's a great question. I don't know. Can't answer that. Great question, though.
It's not a great question, but you don't get an answer.
I don't know. I mean, what am I being secretive about? You saying I'm being secretive?
You're a quarterback.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's only Monday.
Okay.
Maybe Thursday I'll have a better idea for you. Still might not tell you.
There you go.
But I'll know more. I'll know more by Thursday for sure.
All right.
Pat, do you feel like Christian was prepared to come in relief when he was called upon?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Nate Yarnell is too.
How do you
And just so you know, Nate Yarnell last week, I love this kid. He said, Coach, I want to go down on the scout field and help out the defense. Like, you talk about team guy, okay? You know, he doesn't get, would he have been prepared to go in there? No. He'll be more prepared this week. But like, you know, I said to him, we need you down here. He's like, Coach, I know what I'm doing. I'm ready to go. He's like, God, I mean, and again, he is. He's proved that. He sits in there and soaks information up in meetings in there. He knows what's going on, so I feel really good. And I feel better about him than anybody knowing what to do because he's done it before. You know, you got that evidence that, you know, when we pulled him up last year at Western Michigan, you knew, like, this guy's like, I mean, he wasn't just sitting there going, I ain't gonna play, I ain't gonna pay attention and not take notes. You know, Nate Yarnell was taking notes and he was ready, and that's impressive.
Pat, where do you feel your pass rush is right now after 4 games? You guys were able to sack 35 times, but you know, still, you know, your defense hasn't been as dominant as it has been.
Yeah, I don't know where we are, you know, sack numbers. I mean, you know, I think it's, you know, maybe better than I thought it was gonna be based on who we lost. I don't know how many sacks we got against, you know, Drake May last year, but it wasn't 5. I mean, 5 sacks in a game is pretty good. You know, I think 2 sacks a day the week before. I mean, 5, I don't know how many times he passed it, but, you know, 2 out of 10 the week before, EJ told me. So that's 20% sacks. If we got 5 out of how many times he passed it Saturday, it probably doesn't equal to 20%. So you can only get as much pressure as they're letting you. So I think that's all plays into it. but, and again, you can't compare numbers based on plays and all, you just don't know, but, you know, I worry about the ones where he scrambles, you know. You know, there's one down in the red zone the other day where, you know, Shane kind of adds himself in to the left and he goes in to the right, you know. And that's something we don't want to do. I'd rather Shane sit right there and wait for him to take off running and hit him. And Shane's awesome at that. But so we got to clean that up a little bit. You know, those are just little things like, you know, I mean, he's a what we call 3-match player. If his 3 stays in there, he should stay over top of him. Okay, but you know, you go in the front door and he goes out the back door, it's a problem. So those are just little things that we'll clean up here based on protection, based who stays in and all that. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just standard 5 quarterback. That's not what he's supposed to do. But,
What are
Pitt's
some,
averaging 3.5 sacks a game. That's 11th in the country right now.
Well, the numbers aside, though, when you watch the game or watch the tape, does it feel like the pass rush is impacting the quarterback and having the effect, not just the sack numbers, but
it didn't affect him
impacting the
Saturday, I can tell you that. It didn't affect him. I mean, if we brought 6, the dude was getting the ball out, and our guys are running free and turn around looking at, you know, where the ball is being thrown. It's just like he got it out as fast as I've seen any quarterback ever get it out. Okay, I mean, he knew where to go with the ball. He was fast with it, and he was accurate. Like, I mean, we kind of knew that going into the game. You know, we went back and looked. You know, we kind of, you know, so we kind of cooled on that. But when you did dial it up, you know, but we dialed it up a heck of a lot less than we did, you know, or would have done had we not known what we were dealing with. Maybe that's why our coverage was so good. You know, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, again, they made some plays, you know, down the field. You know, just great. I mean, one time he did. I will mention this. He did run out of bounds and come back in and catch the ball. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but I thought that was a violation. He didn't get pushed out either.
How did Kyle Lewis do?
Kyle Lewis, it's a great question. Kyle Lewis is a physical, fast, aggressive. You know, I love the way he plays. He can play a little bit more under control. You know, he missed a couple tackles, I think 3. You go back and look at it, and that's a young guy's stuff. He's just so fast, and but he will get better rep after rep. I mean, I'm excited about his future. But was he perfect? No. Again, nobody is, obviously. But you know, he had a good day, but he could have a great day.
Pat, you mentioned details. How much did penalties play a factor in what we saw Saturday? What is that conversation? How much of a talking point is that been?
Yeah, you know, penalties play a part. Period. In some are on us, whether it's a taunting and you know after a big hit, and but penalties are certainly an issue. You know, discipline we talked about last night, and making smarter decisions, and not being selfish. And, but you know, I'm not going to get fined on a Monday. I won't. You know, it's been 8.5 years. I'm not getting fined on a Monday, so I'll just leave it at that.
What did officials tell you on the illegal substitution penalty towards the end of the first half?
They thought it took too much time. I guess I'm allowed to say that, DJ? They thought it took too much time, but I got great videotape evidence that that's baloney.
Well, we started early. Maybe we'll end early. 2 more maybe.
what jumped off the tape, the Virginia Tech tape about Virginia Tech when you were studying that?
You know, again, I'd say it's still too early to tell. Still, you know, try to finish up till 9:30 last night with North Carolina. Got you know deep into the night with some of that, and then this morning. So I would say, you know, again, you know, they're very young up front. I'd say offensive line wise, they've had some injuries on defense. So depending on who they get back, depends on what team we're going to face. They're still aggressive. I think they do a good job coaching. You can see the coaching on the field. But I would say, you know, injuries have plagued them on defense, a little bit on offense, and they're young up front. They don't have a ton of starts. Like the last 2 weeks, some of the guys in starters and in the physicalness that we've seen the last 2 weeks, you know, you see younger offense.
Pat, on the note of Insalvis, he has another year of eligibility. Do you anticipate he'll be back next year?
You know, that's something that, you know, him and his family have to decide. I mean, that's, you know, up to him. Find out where he is, how he felt he played in what was it, 2.5 games. You know, it's too hard to say. Again, as I talk to the family, it's a matter of him just taking, he's got time. You know, first thing is just get healthy first and then worry about where you are there. But, you know, if he's a first or second rounder, I should go, just like I recommend to everybody. And if he's going to be a 3rd or 4th, if, you know, the NFL comes back and says stay in school, he probably should listen to that. So it's all something that they got to make a decision.
Are you able to reveal any details on that injury?
I don't usually don't, but you know, I would say maybe Matt should do that. I still want to, you know, violate his HIPAA and whatever, all that stuff.
So you can't say whether or not he's having surgery or not?
Yes.
What was the question?
Yes, he did have surgery
He
today.
did, okay,
So,
thank you.
Okay,
Mandy, I saw your.
yeah,
You can close this out.
You haven't had a 1-3 start since 2017. Is there anything you can take from that experience to kind of tell your team right now?
2017, I don't remember that. How did we finish in 2017? You remember?
5 and 7.
5 and 7. So we
Beat
got to be
Miami.
better than 5 and 7. So.
Yeah, you beat Miami.
Found a quarterback.
You know, you can't take, what's that?
Found a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah. I don't think you take anything from 2017. You know, our guys weren't here, I don't think. You know, you take it day by day and you just keep plugging away. I mean, that's what you do. You know, your plan doesn't change. The intensity gets cranked up and we coach away. Anything else?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Kenny Johnson had a kick option for a touchdown. I get to see how important it is for a true professional to be able to do that in the game. Made it look pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, just like the quarterback situation, just like, you know, everything in the game, as Coach Signetti always says, it's the ultimate team game, okay? And Kenny looked outstanding, but let me tell you what, the blocks that he had, go back and watch tape and just go from the tackle to the guard to the center and go, I mean, you know, Brandon George had a, you know, critical block on a safety. You're supposed to pick up his guy, you know, getting one guy, and he missed him, couldn't get him, so what do? You don't run down the coverage, you turn around, got another guy. And again, Kenny can run. Kenny made great cuts. The other guys, you know, the other 10 guys did the whole of the work there. I mean, really, when you look at it, and it's a great play by him. But you know, you guys seen great returners sit back there and get smashed. It depends on your blocking, and so it's a great job by Coach Powell and the rest of those guys on that team that get no credit at all. Okay, but they did a great job blocking for Kenny, and we can keep doing that. You know, I think the blocking up there, you know, has been good, but you know, again. You sit there and look back and go, you know, it could be good this week and then crappy next week. So, you know, just like our punt team. So we need to get that straight. Okay?
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Reminder, we have the open